From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. It's Tuesday, January 16th.
So let's get it started.
Nobody was hurt, so I think we had a guardian angel watching over us.
Gratitude on a Tuesday after a tree tumbled. The mess that had people counting their blessings. The heat for Donald Trump and the frigid temperatures of the Iowa caucuses. What's next for the candidates who still want to take him down? Changes at San Francisco's airport that will last weeks. We'll help you navigate at the gate.
Are super ready for the game on Saturday.
Playoff push and the Bay Area bounce back business is hoped for.
It's a funny name for a street. I wouldn't think that would be a street's name.
And a do-do double down take with a street name some say's a real stinker. Dump it or double down. It's the week's number 2 day, folks. Let's do this. You get it? It's 7 a.m. Good morning, everybody. I'm Reed Cowan.
How are you feeling today? Are you feeling crappy? I'm sorry. I'm out of material when it comes to the Poopanaut Street. We've been talking about it for 3 hours, and that was it. That was my last line.
Yeah. Would you build a house on Poopanaut Street, or would you be one of the people in this town, in Sacramento, in the Sacramento area, that is voting to get rid of the street name and rename it? You can use the hashtag KPIX and sound off on social.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Provide us with new material when it comes to Poopanaut Street. Or is it Poopanaut Court?
It's Poopanaut Court.
Okay. All right. Let's take a live look outside on this Tuesday morning. I just want to make sure we're accurate
of course.
with what we're reporting, even if it is the silliest names. Salesforce Tower just looks beautiful this morning. I like it when it's bright and happy, especially on a day like today when it might not be bright and happy a little bit later. And when I say later, Jessica, when do those storm clouds come in?
We're starting to see some rain up in the North Bay right now. It's still dry in San Francisco where that Salesforce Tower is at. But I mean, did you see that sunrise? It's stunning this morning. Throughout the Bay Area, we're waking up with cloudy skies throughout the Bay, anywhere from the Santa Clara Valley stretching up north where those light showers are starting to fall. Here's what it's looking like currently for our friends down in the Santa Clara Valley, San Jose, Los Gatos, all the way down into Morgan Hill. We're in the 40s right now in our forecast. 40s all the way off into Antioch with a very similar trend in the city of San Francisco. Right behind me now is our live look from our rooftop cam. And those clouds are beautiful. They're pink, they're blue, they're a little bit dark still as the sun starts to come up. Heading into this afternoon, we have some big changes in store for us in San Francisco. And we already have big changes right now for our friends up in the North Bay, getting hit with some heavy showers right now closer to Bodega Bay. Let's zoom in just a little bit closer to home. Anywhere from Point Arena all the way down into Bodega Bay. We've been seeing light to moderate rainfall. This is starting to wrap over those Marin headlands and continuing to track off into the east. All the way up north in areas like Healdsburg and Santa Rosa, light rain is falling right now too. We're going to continue to keep a close eye on this system as it tracks over into St. Helena all the way down into Napa. Now that's just series 1 of showers that's happening up in the North Bay. Kind of tapers off around 11 a.m. as we gear up for more heavier showers into the 2 o'clock hour. Around 2, that's when we're going to see moderate pockets of rain trickle its way in anywhere from Bodega Bay stretching down into San Francisco, and then watch the Santa Clara Valley get hit into the 5 o'clock hour tonight too. All throughout the Bay Area, we're going to be seeing showers continuing to track in from offshore with some gusty winds at times. It starts to clear up into the evening hours tonight, but I'm going to time this out for you and let you know what the next band of rain is going to look like for us coming up this week. For now, over to you, Nicole.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Let's get you prepped on the roadway conditions at the top of the 7 o'clock hour, starting off at the Altamont Pass for our super commuters, where if you take a look here, it doesn't look great. Slow and heavy traffic on westbound 205 to 580 after Grant Line Road heading into Livermore. This is a typical hotspot in the morning, but due to 2 accidents, those coming from the Central Valley to the Bay Area at this hour, can really expect a bit of a delay for now since conditions have not cleared up even from the last hour. And a lot of flight delays and cancellations out of SFO this morning. So far, we're seeing 48 canceled flights and 60 delays. Travelers out of SFO may see more delays over the next couple months. That's all because of a scheduled runway closure that took effect today. And our Sean Chitness is live from SFO this morning with details on the improvement project. Good morning to you once again. Sean, what are the details?
Hey, Nicole, good morning. Yeah, I was just looking over at the board to see some of those cancellations and delays just as the airport is starting to really pick up this morning. So our understanding is that this project hopes to make it easier for planes to come off of the runway once they're landing and then taxi, making it easier and safer for them. And this project will start today and then continue for at least 5 months, could be 6 months altogether. The work will realign 2 taxiways and require 1 runway to be closed for that time period. Crews will have to reconstruct those 2 taxiways so they don't intersect. The airport says that this will improve safety and bring the runways to the latest standards. So from now through April, SFO anticipates that 1/3 of its flights will be delayed 30 to 60 minutes, especially during peak time periods. And the airlines are still calculating what that impact will be for May and June. But we do know this is going to be for both domestic and international flights. We had a chance to talk to a couple of travelers here, get their early reaction to the start of this project.
I always take the first flight out in the morning because the plane is already here and there's usually not a problem. So coming home will be a challenge, I think.
Fortunately, most of the time.
And so we know that the project is going to cost $55 million and is federally funded, but the goal is to have it all done by July 1st so they avoid any issues with the Independence Day holiday weekend. Nicole, back to you.
All right, thank you, Sean. SFO's International Terminal may be getting a name change. Airport commissioners are expected to vote today to rename the terminal in honor of the late Dianne Feinstein. Her legacy included being the longest-serving senator in U.S. history and the first woman to serve as mayor of San Francisco. Her work in developing the city's airport was a key accomplishment during her time as mayor.
Well, the first test of the Republican Party's choice for president last night in Iowa. And here's your headline this morning. Donald Trump won last night's Iowa Republican caucuses by a wide margin. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis finished in second place, closely followed by former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. Another headline, businessman Vivek Ramaswamy calls it quits in his push for the presidency after a fourth place finish. Next, New Hampshire, where New Hampshire's Republican presidential primary contest will play out Tuesday. Stay with us. We're live in Iowa in the next half hour with an update. You know, Trump's Iowa win tempered a little bit by a trial today. Once again, he's facing off with a woman named E. Jean Carroll. Carroll beat Trump at trial in May when a jury found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation. At the time, they awarded Carroll $5 million in damages. Well, Trump doubled down on Carroll's claim after losing that case, calling her account a con job on TV and on social media. He also sounded off on that at his rallies. For that, Carroll now seeks $10 million in a civil trial. A woman's body has been pulled from the waters near the site of that plane crash in San Mateo County to Half Moon Bay right now, where investigators say that the woman was on board that single-engine aircraft that crashed. We don't know what brought the plane down, but people who saw the plane report that it was flying erratically after it took off from Half Moon Bay Airport. And an update on that crash that sent a car into a building off of Highway 80 off-ramp. The CHP says the driver's alive because she wore a seatbelt. The crash happened around 11 p.m. Sunday as the woman drove just too fast on a curve at the Harrison Street exit. The building hit is the historic Clock Tower Lofts building before smashing windows and landing on the street below.
A busy street in San Francisco is back open this morning after this scary scene. A massive eucalyptus tree came crashing down on the road, crushing 5 cars. It happened on 19th Avenue near Lincoln and Golden Gate Park yesterday afternoon. One woman who escaped told our Kelsey Thorid what it was like.
I mean, it's slow motion coming down, and then as soon as that tree falls on you, everything goes silent.
Sandy Young says she was enjoying the holiday off with her family, heading to the mall for some fun, when a massive eucalyptus tree crashed on top of their car.
It was back-to-back traffic, and then next thing you know, I was in the back passenger side, and I could see the eucalyptus tree and the light posts come crashing down on our car.
Sandy says her first instinct was to check on her kids and her husband. Thankfully, she says everyone was okay, but the front of their car was crushed.
Some gentleman from the car behind us rushed over and opened the car door and got us out. My daughter came after me, and then my husband and my son had to climb from the front seat into the back seat to get out.
In total, San Francisco Fire says the tree hit 5 cars with 11 people inside. Miraculously, every single person walked away from the scene. Only 2 had minor injuries.
I think it's important to note that these vehicles were in motion when this tree fell down. And had this tree fallen just a second later, we would be looking at a much worse scene behind us than what we are seeing right now.
Sandy says she understands that. That's why she is so thankful everyone is okay.
Even all the cars around us, everybody, nobody was hurt. So I think we had a guardian angel watching over us today.